Kraken Crab Fest Saturday.
Yes.
Keith, thanks for coming on today at the races. A lot going on here at Laurel Park early on.
There is a lot going on. I picked up a couple items from past Preaknesses. That was good.
Yes.
Little giveaway there for the people that work here at Laurel and Pimlico. So that was very kind of everyone. To add a little bit to the attire.
There's a car wash.
Car wash going on.
Yes,
Yeah, I saw
Gina
Robb out in the parking lot, the Horseman's lot. I guess it's going to benefit the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation.
Yes.
But anyhow,
Give your support.
yes, if you need a get that car cleaned up, a lot of dust around here sometimes at the races, right? So go get yourself a good car wash, and you're going to do some good by doing so, benefiting that Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation. Yeah, busy weekend. We had 10 races yesterday, 11 today, 13 tomorrow. Yesterday we saw a good late pick 5. Havable paid over $11,000, and only kind of one question mark course, a little tough to figure, was the first or in the last race, but what a race by Big Wanda. A little slower start. Man, what a run that horse made the last eighth of a mile, diving inside and really galloping out. Opened up like 5 in a flash.
Big time. That was a really professional move done. Let's take a look at what we've got going on here. On the turf, we had a little bit of rain, Keith. We were just discussing it. So you'll see that's why half of the track is sealed on the outside. So just make a touch. There's a little bit of rain that happened overnight. The track is still fast. I wouldn't say it's not on its way to. It'll definitely be fast, but for the moment right now, even still fast.
Yeah. It's good to go. On a turf course, a little bit of rain isn't going to hurt. Yes, we had some about a week ago, but no, it needed it. It looks great. We've got plenty of plethora of betting opportunities the next 2 days here at Laurel Park.
Speaking of which, we do have that mandatory payouts in the Rainbow Pick 6, the Super High 5, and the Late Pick 5. Those go out tomorrow before we go to the Big T for racing here. And let's get to today's card, though.
Yeah.
Starting off this early pick 5 on the turf in this claiming $20,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3, going 5.5 on the turf. No scratches in this field, Keith. You and I, or actually Mackenzie and I, you land on the number 6.
Okay.
Cactus. This is in the barn of Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, who just clinched their summer training title yesterday.
Well, they have 3 wins yesterday.
Yes.
2x2 gets it done again up at the wire. How come he couldn't win 4? I needed real talk at 5-1. My best bet of the day just gets nipped. Big effort by No Easy Days. But let's get back to the open here. Number 6, Cactus. Yes, kind of a newer face. Never been on the turf, but you know what? Could certainly take to it by Twirling Candy. 15% with the turf runners. Bottom side, the Mara turf winner. I think stakes placed for Eddie Graham. So, I mean, you've got some turf there. Half the Palm Reader, Christmas Sky, turf. Yeah, take a shot. Ness, interesting little move. The last couple of races off the claim, not so good. So maybe this is the wake-up call. I expect this one to kind of chase and hopefully go on. Some really quick animals in here. One-way traffic, especially the 7. Very, very quick. Ran very good last time. Carried that speed a long way. Going to use that one. Sir Lance, issues, trouble into the turn will also be part of that flow, and possibly even your top selection. Moncrief, got video. Moncrief out of the race on July the 26th. Field of 9, outer post, breaks slow, floated a little out. Look at this move into that 21-4 opening quarter.
There we go.
Rolls up 5 wide, heading into the turn. It's kind of amazing that he was able to kind of get into the position from out there, chase that quick pace, 44-2, and just keep going. There's Sir Lance shuffling back into the turn. On the lead, one-way traffic, looks home, right? Moncrief digging. Claudie Boy on the outside is going to go ahead and steadily progress on that left lead to get up. But really good effort from Moncrief. The key has been the brakes. He's had some issues early on in his races. If he comes away cleanly, Callie, I think your top selection is a very good shot to win it. Be right there at the wire. 6-3-9-7. We got a busy card. We'll roll. Tall Order dropping his face a little bit better. I expect the setup to be there for Tall Order, and we'll be making a good run, I think, that last eighth of a mile.
Let's take a look at your early pick 4 ticket there. $24, Keith. You got a single in race number 3.
All to get you started. Race 2, I'm up and down, all over the map there. Single, race 3, we've got some scratches. Scratch to 3, 5, and 7. To me, it looks like Cakes Tap Dancer's race to lose on the front end. Race 4, 1, 3, 5, and 6. Yeah, if you can afford Dance for Green, go ahead. Another little bit of a head scratcher for me. Wrap it up in the 5th. Number 4, Midsummer's Eve. Only try was going long on the turf. On the turf was long. Shortening up. I like this move. And the 6 for Bob Claceris, Euphema, off a good effort at Colonial. $24 early pick 4 ticket. Let's roll.
You talked about your first leg clicking the all button, and our selections reflect that here in this claiming 12-5 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 2. 5.5 on the dirt. You go with the 3 on top. Skip through the fire. This is in the barn of Corrales. Acosta takes the call, a win 2 back, breaking the maiden.
I don't know. Somebody said it. We must have missed it. But this horse was, I think, a little fractious pre-race behind the gate or maybe in the gate last time when bet down to 3-1 off of that really impressive, kind of rode the wave there July 7th. Maiden breaking score. No speed whatsoever last time out. I'll give it another chance. She's going to, I think, rebound here. Corrales can hit with a price. Some speed horses in here. And I think skip through the fire. You look at a couple of those races, 3 races back, the ability to kind of sit just off of it and make a move. Just behave prior to the gate. We might get a good price here, 8-10 to 1 to make a move into it. The speed, Chorus Choice, very quick. Blue Trillion's got some speed. Even Frosty Maya, I think, should be into the mix. Blue Trillion, I think the deal is, let's go ahead and try to rate. Last time out, she took a right-hand turn, a little bear out at the start, got into position that stalked, but just faded a little bit. Yep. She's better than what she's showing. I just, I go back on her page. That score, that race at March the 10th was really, really good. I think she can go ahead and sit and kind of prompt the issue of Chorus Choice. But looking for a little bit of a pricer. Maybe the 3, Skip to the Fire, and the 4, Good Story. Do you key around the closers in here to make that move?
3-5-4-2 there in race number 2. Starting off, Keith Fusel's early pick 4, where he does press the alt button in that first leg. Going on to race number 3, we're back on the turf going 1 mile and 1/8 in a maiden claiming 45. Scratches in the 3, 5, and 7. Keith, you go with the number 2. This leads us to a 4-horse field. Cakes Tap Dancer, Michael Matz, J. Ron Barbosa. What's not to like here? I completely understand.
Yeah, let's go ahead and cut to the video right away because Dead Sexy is my video. Yeah, is in there. That's the same race. Compass Ride got it done on July 26th, race 4 at Laurel. Cakes Tap Dancer was just involved in a pretty spirited duel, 23-2, 46-2, 11. That was it. Dead Sexy takes advantage of that. It's going to go ahead and sit back. Was 8, 10, 12 out of it early on. Works outward, top of the stretch, and closes in willingly. The key is, with these scratches, will she get the chance to get that flow and make a run in? We're going to add blinkers. That move has been okay for this barn. We've talked about Madison Myers. Pay attention to the turf runners out to 1 mile and 1/8. I think that's the limit for her best race. I like her maybe even a little bit better, 1 mile and 1/16. But, yeah, we'll see if Cakes Tap Dancer gets any kind of pressure because if she's allowed to relax, yes, 12 times she was DQ'd, 4 races back. I think she can take this field wire to wire.
2-6-4-1. Keith Fusel there in race number 3. Race at number 4. We go 7 furlongs on the dirt in this claiming 20,000 event for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3. Scratching the 2, Mr. Agent. Keith, you give us a little bit of value here in the number 5, Penny Loafer for Hammy Smith Toriaba to add to that special Keith Fusel stat. Yeah,
a little stat here. Scratch the 2, Mr. H, and a little speed taken out of there. I don't like that, but we're still going to stick with Hammy and Penny Loafer. Last 2 years on the dirt. Hammy, 4 for 15, 27%, 8 for 15 in the money with these 3-year-olds and up, adding the blinkers. First time ROI right there, dead even, nickel for you, $5 for Penny Loafer. He and Energy Efficient have been victims of wider trips. Shorter field here today at the 7/8 of a mile. I still think flow is there. Dunphy, Dance for Green out of that same race on the 19th. They hooked up early, kept on going. Maybe Dunphy's the survivor of the speed, but I look for Penny Loafer, who ran very well 2 races back at 1 mile and 16th when caught wide against Passion, who was able to control it, and had an excuse 3 races back when sprinting. This horse is 1 going short. Yeah, that was a big hiccup at the break last 3 races back. Freeze the Fire got out there. and we know how good Freeze the Fire is. But I like Pennyloaf for Hot Rider, Tori Albel to stalk and move into it.
First in the barn tub, Tim Siam, Kieran McGee, Jim Brasino. That's something I certainly take the bite on that. You expect improvement out of this one.
Well, and you think the rider just begged to get the ride back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're seeing it. Kieran and Brasino, no, they don't team up. They're teaming up today. I'm assuming he said, hey, I want to get back on this horse. He knows the horse. A little closer and used early into that flow, hoping things develop up front. I think Tim Siam can sit back a little bit further, 5-6 out of it, leaving a 3/8, and ramp up a run with Brasino for Kieran. Deadly off the claim.
5-3-6-1 for Keith Fusel there in race number 4. Race number 5 is claiming 30,000 on the turf, going 5.5 for these girls, 3 and up. Scratch in the rail horse, Hot Dance. But we all land on the number 6, Euphema. You had this horse on your ticket, Bob Placeres, Tori Albel. Let's take a look at that effort last time out over at Colonial in mid-July.
Yeah, good effort. That was the first time blinkers on the turf. They applied those 2 races back on the dirt, a chase and a fade. But this is a pretty good effort, I thought. A little inside bid, gets a short lead here, heading to the 16th pole just to be outdone late. But Euphema, another race with, some speed, shared authority. Divine Dolce is getting the blinkers on, will be forward. Molly Tapper doesn't have to be too far back. But I like the positioning, Euphema. I think it was able to get over inside. Kind of maybe a similar trip. Maybe that inside opens up again, and it leads to victory for Placeres. Very good with his turf runners. Had a heck of a run with that one sprinter for a while. Ran here. The name's escaping me, but was very, very good.
Not Star Shopping.
Shasta Star.
Shasta Star.
Thank
there
you.
we go.
Thank you. Good wake up for me.
She's retired now. She thinks she's going to be a broodmare.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So 6-4, 2-5 for Keith Fusel. Anything else you wanted to add?
Midsummer's Eve. The Boyce factor, getting a horse that was long on the turf, 2 races back, on the lead to go ahead and settle, I think brings a better finish here this afternoon. Molly Tapper, a user at a price, as well as Police Woman. Police Woman will need some help up front.
Absolutely. Might be getting that here today. We'll find out in race number 5. We'll be back after this commercial break for the rest of Saturday's card. And we're back in this Jackpot Super High 5. Also starts the Rainbow Pick 6 in race number 6. Let's take a look at my ticket really quickly. I do find a single. I wanted to go wide in race 9, but if you're going to add another horse in race, as opposed to my second single in race 10, I would add the 2 in race number 10 there. We'll dive into that a little bit more. An $18 ticket. Remember, mandatory payouts tomorrow on those pools. Race number 6, the Jackpot Super High 5 race, begins in the claiming 12-5 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won. 3 going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Also scratch the 6 as well. And Naughty Nan, you and I both go with the number 2. Keith Baby Socks, Joanne Schenkel, Thais Laya Pustina. They team up well together. Let's take a look back in that effort back in the 14th of April.
Yeah, and also in this race on the 14th of April is the 7-horse today, Remember Me, who was on the lead in the 2-path, shakes clear after some early pressure. Here comes my horse up the inside. Baby Socks favored, a slight favorite, 3-1 this particular. They're going to make this run. Looms here coming to the 16th pole. Can't quite sustain. But maybe a little bit of a freshening is going to do this filly some good. She's shown a real big turn of foot a few races back on her page. I don't think she necessarily needs to lead. I think Remember Me is going to be right up in the flow early, and possibly Damon's maiden breaker, Faith in Liberty, here for Reb. I think Faith in Liberty made a big jump. Like the way she got into position after breaking a beat slow. She relaxed, made that move, going the right direction for Damon. He's 3 for 17, 7 for 17 with the maiden winners last out. Let's see. I just think there's going to be a little bit of a duel developing to the quarter pole. Gorman might send in there. Baby Socks hopefully to sit just off of it. The thing that concerns me, I didn't get any kind of late work on this horse. The last work I show was July 20th. I didn't know if you got anything else. That was on my page. That's a little bit of a concern for me. You would have liked to see more recency for a work, but Baby Socks, I'll take a shot. But I'm torn between the 2, the 4, and the 7. Closer to the heart, just needs that flow. Looked like a winner last time, ranging into a slower pace, just to be denied late. We'll need things to heat up on the front, and Katie Voss with the winner in the nightcap with that firster. But Faith and Liberty, interesting. Definitely a big, big improvement in her 4th career start.
Keith wanted to add to that with Baby Socks. We have that last work on July 20th, but then was entered twice.
Okay.
Was entered on the 28th of June, was a vet scratch, and then was entered on the 28th of July with just no reason for a scratch. So just to throw that in there.
Can I change my pick? No, I'm just kidding. We're going to stay with those 4,
It's
Callie.
fine. I do it as well. 2, 7, 4, 5 there in race number 6.
Right.
Let's go ahead back to the turf here for race number 7 in this maiden claiming 20,000, going 5.5 on our turf second wire finish for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old scratch, and the 11 dowsing rod. The 14 runs, Skylar's brother. We both include that in our picks, but Keith, you have the number 4 on top. I completely understand this for decision and restrike for Owen Garber, Daniel Centeno. If anything, like we saw last time out, is going to be a bit of an indicator of what's about to happen today.
Yeah, yielding turf course at Colonial, and keying up out of that race, Contrivance was down there, and we've seen, his efforts comparable, matches up with a bunch of these. So there's not much splitting them. But, man, this horse ran really, really big. Flash speed in between horses was like a 4-way scramble to the half-mile marker. Eased back, got relaxed again. Between horses past the 5/16, eased back again. This horse gave up a couple lengths throughout this race, altered out, then back in, and really finished with a flourish. Love the gallop out for restrike. Get position here off the speed. Let's go to the video of Mile High Miracle if we can on the 19th of July. This one ran too good to lose. And another one where a little bit of a slow start cost Mile High Miracle. It didn't break the sharpest. I know we've got this horse breaking like 4th or 5th. But had to rush up to the inside, contested that pace, gets the lead, and, man, tries hard as she can the last 3/16 of a mile just to run, go from 1st to 3rd on the last couple strides right there. Zingal's King, who's back in here, sat the perfect trip, stalking 3 to 4 wide, has to avoid being that overland trip again. And let's talk about your 14, Skylar's brother. You've got in the mix, gets in here because of the scratch. Yeah, pay attention. Phil Cap, dirt to turf, positive ROI. Top side, Bourbon Courage, 14% with the turf sprinters. Bottom side, Angel Park. This makes it a half to Angel Art. Top to the 71 recently here over this turf course. Could go 5.5, could go a mile. Skylar's brother, interesting sliding into this field. Race 7. I like restrike at that price. I hope we can get something close to that morning line.
Agreed.
6, 8, 10 to 1, and punch it till our fingers bleed, as Mike Ansell used to say up there at Monmouth Park back in the 90s.
4-3-3-14 for Keith Fusel in race number 7. Race number 8, back on the dirt in this maiden special weight, going a mile, second wire finish for these straight 2-year-olds. Scratches in the 1, 3, and 7. Keith, you land with the number 4. Just a fair shake, first-time starter for Daniel McKenzie, J. Ron Barbosa.
I'm just reading the jockeys here. On the overnight, Barbosa was named on the 4 and the 5. You would think automatically I'm going to the 5. He rides for Phil, right? A lot. There's a strong sample there. Doesn't ride a ton for McKenzie. But look at the workouts on this horse. This is a bit of a reach. Yeah, I mean, I think Lou's Birthday now the horse to beat. But just a fair shake. We're going to give you a reason why maybe. Starts back July 6th. You go back to that work. A mile. Half and 50 out of the gate. Then a nice 5/8 work. Then turf. Then a 102, 5/8, and 102 and 3. Then improves it to 102 flat 5/8. The bottom looks like it's there for this one. I'm looking at the family. Mare was 1 for 8, 4 for 8 in the turf synthetic. Just taking a guess. I mean,
why not?
Hasn't missed a beat training. I like that. Forwardly to go this distance. Tough distance for these 2-year-olds.
And they don't need to be lightning fast at this distance running in the in the morning workouts.
Just a staying power.
Right.
I like that. And I like that. So take a shot. Lou's Birthday, go last time out. Little hesitation. This horse has not gotten off out of the gates real well. All 3 starts, we've got this horse on the chart breaking last. Now, the 2-back try wasn't terrible. Last time, a little bit of a hesitation. But I did hear the announcer say before they broke, a lengthy delay, it looked like. So it might have sat in the gate for a while and lost its focus and then broke slow and was climbing a little bit. Didn't look like he really kind of took to that muddy sealed surface at Delaware. But Blofeld's 24% with the dirt routes. Keys up against Kern SK, who ran big here against the good Rob horse. This horse has to just break with the field. He doesn't have to be rushed off his feet at the mile. The horse to beat there, Phil Cap, Lou's birthday.
4, 5, 6, 2 for Keith Fusel there in race at number 8. Race number 9 back on the turf in this claiming 45, which have never won 2, going a mile on the turf. That's 2 turns, not 1 turn. But let's talk about your top selection here in the number 3. Sneaking Suspicion, TJ Aguirre, Gina Vello coming in, just really trying to knock on these doors on this on these state bred allowances.
I did a late audible. I did an audible.
Right.
Late. I got that text.
How late?
It was late enough. I just had to switch it up. I went to Breakwater. It's going to come back to bite me, I know, but Breakwater reported first gelding.
Yes.
But I'm going to talk about Sneaking Suspicion real quick. Going to go first time for TJ Aguirre. Has teamed up and done okay with the owner. You got El Velo. Outside to inside move off the last couple races. Both of those races, the leaders kind of were able to dictate and control things. This horse tries. He's shown ability. He comes into a condition race. I'm going to give him the shot. He holds value in here, so I'm going to use him the exactas. We'll stick with Breakwater maybe as the quote-unquote on-top horses. You know, I give you these 4. You do what you want with them. I'll tell you if I love them. There's no love here. But Breakwater, go to the video on the 30th of March down at Tampa Bay. This is the last time this took a course that had a little bit of a bounce to it. Caught the soft turf at Pimlico after this try, but this is pretty good. Just in time for Wine opens up a commanding lead. Down the backstretch, around the far turn, into the stretch, and is able to hold on. But I thought Breakwater, that overland trip, a little between into the stretch, but churns on quite well. 5-year-old horse it was on my page. And I wrote on my notes, Callie, you can attest, I put geld, question mark. Maybe this horse should be geld. And now is a first-time gelded reported, so I like that angle. This horse has back figures. Forrest Boyce, Shug McGahee, you don't have to say anything else about that combo.
Right.
So Breakwater, yes, and also Sneaking Suspicion. You want to toss in the 9, the Paddock Pastor. I like this comment. Snugly rated for 6 furlongs last time out. Maybe gets called on a little bit earlier. Second-time blinkers. Runs into it. Didn't have the quickest of flows to go into last time. We'll also toss in the 4. Got to be proud. This is a sneaky.
Thank you.
Speed was okay on the turf yesterday. It carried for the most part. This horse has the 1 turf race. Now, it was going short. Tough internals, shape note a next out winner. Just to give way grudgingly. A really good effort last time for the 1 turn mile. Look at that comment. Kept trying. There's no real super speed in here. If this horse can clear and relax, I think Rosado can nurse and take this one a long way at a price. I will be throwing this one into the exactas.
I have this one on my ticket as well
for
that leg.
All right.
So, yep, glad that you have that in. 5394 for Keith Fusel. Remember, reported first-time gelding for the number 5 as we move on to race number 10 back on the dirt here in this allowance optional 55. Going a mile and 16th for the girls, 3 and up. No scratches here. Keith, you and I both land on number 2. Miss New York, Georgie Delgado, Daniel Centeno. Roll back to that effort in the Twixt last year.
Yeah, it has 1 race since. Long break. Last out was at Parks, but this effort was really, really good. Stumbled out of the break, spotting, length and a half, a little more than that to those leaders right out of the gate. Got position and stayed on after being coaxed along inside. Doesn't look like the biggest filly, but, man, she had a lot of heart this day. Was able to kind of work outward. Malibu Beauty trying to get away on the front end opens up. Here's the 1 to 5 coming at you. Interstate Daydream on the outside, but just follow her. Follow her effort. She is trying every step of the way. Just to her inside today is Majestic Creed. I'm hoping these 2 send early to get position. 8 to 5 on the morning line, Continental Congress. I'm going to try to beat her. She's got the help of slower flows when she's got to the front and controlled it. I got to think, and maybe even X-Man, I'm getting there. They got to go. You cannot let the 6 walk the dog, but I think Miss New York can get position and definitely step things back up off the return and also out of that race at Parks. Majestic Creed. Good races on the back. Bad effort last time. That wasn't a bad effort, I should say. It was willingly. But I'm looking for this horse to go ahead and send. She's got speed. She's got natural speed. You go back on her page, she beat a horse like Dr. Abbey by a pole. I mean, I think you're looking for the wake-up call for the 1 Majestic Creed. I'm going to key around those 2. I'm getting there first time Ness. always a danger.
There we go. 2-1-3-5, Keith. And let's wrap things up here at race number 11 on the lovely Laurel lawn in a maiden claiming 45, going 1 1/8 on the turf. For the 3, 4, and 5-year-old, scratch and the 3, scratch and the 7. You go with the 1. Let's take a look at exactly why. And Raptor Razzle for Gene Rofe. Dennis Arujo gets the call.
Yeah, again, reaching for a little bit of a price. But so it's a win early family. I did go back and check that again today. Slightest hesitation coming out of the gate, didn't break the sharpest. Going into the first turn, we're in a little tight. You see the head there bobbing up and down, a little bit of a steady. Horse just to the outside goes out a little bit, and the other horse 4 wide gets floated. Then gets positioned. This horse continues on under a ride. Not the easiest thing to do.
No.
Obviously, he's been prepped to get some distance. And just stays on. And actually has to work through a little bit of a traffic. We're going to watch this to the last 1/8 of a mile. This guy's been ridden a long way.
Yeah.
You think he's just going to lay down? No. Works outward. Okay. Now seam's going to kind of close up a little bit. A little hesitation there. Now we've got clearance, and now we're going to keep churning on. I like that effort. Raptor Razzle, 93-1 in debut. We won't get anything close to that. But why not? If you're looking for a get-out horse, that's one. Chevy Man with Boyce. Really big effort. First time gelding, last time. Goes second time gelding the day the blinkers going back on against that toner horse, a Border War. Yeah, those 2-star lifter works for me. And the 8 Brady's interesting. DeMarchale with the turf router has been very good. There's not a whole lot of turf if I looked at. No, this is the first foal, but the mare was 0 for 3.
Got it.
That was an impressive debut with the trouble. So the DeMarchale side, the top side, might move this one up a little bit more on the grass. 1-6-4-8 to close it out.
Thanks, Keith. Let's talk about your value plays and dive into those a little bit more. You've got a couple of them. Race starting at race 4, 5-1. Penny Loafer, Hammy Smith, Torrealba.
Showed you the stat. Hammy about 25% with this move. The 3-year-olds and up with the first blinkers on the dirt, turf to dirt angle. A little bit more flow. I think that's going to help his chances. Had really a lot of trouble 3 races back. I think it was 3 races back or 4 races back against Freeze the Fire.
Talking about your second value play of the day, race number 7, 10-1 on the number 4 Restrike. Owen Garber, Daniel Centeno.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Trouble multiple times at Colonial. I mean, you got to really watch that video. This horse, it wasn't smooth. That's perfect. Yeah, it wasn't a comfortable trip, I would say. But the finish, the last 16th of a mile, and then through the gallop, really strong. I like the setup. I like the post draw. Can let things develop. I don't think he has to be too far back because he showed that natural gate speed. Big improvement on move to the turf last time out at Colonial.
And you have a third value play for us here today in race number 11, Raptor Razzle on the inside, 12-1, Gene Rolfe, Dennis Arujo.
We just showed it. It's a win early family. Again, trouble multiple times, never gave up. Shorter field here, should be able to avoid some trouble. Brings you a little value there in the nightcap. Don't forget to get your car washed today by Gina Robb and her crew. Don't forget to go on inside to our Kraken Crab Feast. Keith, thanks so much for joining us on this morning show. We're going to head on over to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches. All right, good luck.